Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. paying a visit today to the University of Nebraska Medical Center and the National Quarantine Unit. He hailed the efforts of health experts here in the heartland, saving lives and helping prevent infectious diseases from spreading, specifically caring for the passengers from that cruise ship who were exposed to hantavirus.
Earlier this year, Nebraska put that capacity to work when 18 Americans faced potential exposure to Andre's hantavirus after traveling on the Hondias. Nebraska Medicine and UNMC received them at the National Quarantine Unit, protected the public, cared for the people involved, and completed the operation with 0 detected cases. That is preparedness. Build the capacity before a crisis arrives and be ready to act when it does.
He said when the country has called, UNMC has delivered.